Today we're going to Republican win seats in districts. In 20 interesting that is able to rep congressional districts there, and there are really just swing districts, and a good a small percentage of them, but a reasonably high percent are in as well. A couple other big states, New York, Pennsylvania. Looks like California has one. Arizona's got two. But this map for the polling, but there is another map I wanted for us to take a look at. We'll go with the Kalshi betting markets map. This one gives us an idea. It assigns a betting market to every one of the congressional districts and ranks it on a scale of safe red to safe blue, with all the things in between, likely, lean, and tilt for each respective party. This paints a much more rosy picture for Democrats. There are quite a few seats there in the likely Republican rating that were generally drawn to be safe. We have a couple examples of that in Texas, Florida, as well as a few other states. We have Missouri, and then North Carolina, as well as Tennessee. Quite a few districts that were drawn to be safe Republican, but are looking like that might. I do think Republicans will most likely win those districts because they were drawn to do so. But it will be interesting to see what the margin ends up. And this happened throughout the South. The Democrats certainly have been guilty of gerrymandering and redistricting as well. The recent round started out with the state of Texas, where Republicans gerrymandered to flip 5 seats from the Democrats to the Republicans, and then California responded with the proposition Governor Newsom supported, and it ended up passing, so that flipped 5 seats from red to blue. The only other really good bit of good news for Democrats, however, though, is the state of Utah, where one seat was, well, the congressional gerrymander that Republicans had in place prior to this current map was deemed that it was not going to be legal. The courts overthrew it and ended up placing in this one that flipped one district from safe red to safe blue in the Salt Lake City metropolitan area there. But that's kind of been the only good bit of good news. Democrats were slightly hoping that, well, Democrats got a little bit of good news in the state of Ohio. This gerrymander it was done by Republicans, but it didn't turn out to be quite as bad as Democrats were expenders and advantages in this House elections for the midterms. Like I said, there's Florida and Texas. Those two are arguably the biggest ones. A couple of other. Tennessee single district has drawn to be in the Republican Party's column. There are 2 that, according to the betting markets, are in red instead of safe red. It looks like they take parts of Memphis and Nashville and try to combine it with large swaths of rural Tennessee, more Republican-leaning areas. But there are really very few competitive seats. It looks like there are really only 7 according to the Kalshi betting markets map. But this is why I tend to trust the Kalshi betting markets map more than the consensus polling. I do think the final result will probably be a mix. I think Democrats are strongly favored to win back control of the House. It also occurs generally the party that is in control of the presidency tends to lose the House and sometimes the Senate, sometimes both. I do think the House is quite a bit more likely this time around, though. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.